What's up, everybody? It's Dylan here with Dwoo Does Things. Thanks for tuning back into my channel. I'm here in beautiful Waterbury Center, Vermont, right at the foot of the Worcester Mountain Range, Mount Hunger. And today I want to talk about some of the new Arcteryx stuff that just hit the market for spring 2025. It is April 10th, and I'm wearing the new Proton Hoodie. This is their mid-weight, warm, breathable, active insulation layer. It's got 80 grams in the chest of, I think it's Corloft compact synthetic insulation. In the torso, I think the sleeves have 60 grams. I think the hood has either 60 or 40 grams. I will highlight that in the comments. Yeah, I just want to talk about this and a few other garments from Arcteryx recently. Yeah, I know a lot of people have been upset with Arcteryx for a little while with their shift toward making a lot more mass market, urban, lifestyle clothing for hype beasts and whatnot. I do have to say, they are still making technical gear and it is still really, really good, really, really comfortable, but it is changing. It is not 100% tailored and geared towards alpinists, climbers, and mountaineers anymore. And I have to say that some of the changes with the Proton Hoodie here, I don't know, it depends on who you are and what your build is. It's definitely a much roomier fit than the Proton LT. I wear a medium in most things. In Arcteryx stuff, at least from years past, I was generally an extra medium, so for the Proton I had to size up to a large. This medium fits me really, really well. I used to have a lot of tightness in the back and the shoulders, and in the chest and torso area. No longer. It's actually quite a roomy fit. I feel like I could actually layer underneath this. So they've definitely opened up their fit quite a bit. It's no longer tailored towards that tall, lanky climber's build anymore. I guess it's more tailored to fit the average American these days. This is the Soul Sonic colorway. I'm a huge purple fan, and I couldn't resist. I had to buy the Soul Sonic colorway. I also got the Gamma 5-panel hat here as well in Soul Sonic, with the logo being in the Electra colorway. I'll talk about the Electra a little bit more in a minute. There's a few things I like about this garment. There's a few things I really dislike. I'll start with the things that I dislike a lot. The number one piece being the zipper here. I might just be mistaken. It might be their no-slip zipper, but up at the top there's a couple spots where it's really, really difficult to undo the zipper. And that's primarily up here at the neck, right at the very top. It's a little bit tricky to undo the zipper, and then there's another spot just below that sticks quite a bit, and then there's like 3 or 4 more, and then it zips all the way down. I think that is their no-slip zip, because with a lot of Arcteryx garments, I'm able to just pull the garment apart, or it even unzips itself when I'm actively moving and maneuvering through terrain. So I think that might be the no-slip zip, but it does feel chintzy, and it does not feel very Arcteryx-like, if you will. And it does feel very breathable. One thing it does not feel how it should, in my opinion, is in the warmth and the loft of this jacket. It feels very deflated compared to past years' Proton jackets and hoodies, especially like the Proton LT. And I think that has to do with the Corloft compact. It's been pre-compressed to resist compression and still retain the same amount of warmth for longer, is the goal of the Corloft compact. But it doesn't really make sense to me, because loft is what gives you warmth, and this layer is definitively not lofty. Again, it feels very deflated. So I think, compared to the Proton LT of years past, this is not going to be nearly as warm. It's April 10th right now, and it is about 45 degrees out, and I feel a chill coming through. I'm wearing just a simple merino poly blend base layer here, and yeah, I definitively feel a chill. It's not really keeping me that warm, the way an 80-gram synthetic insulation mid-layer should. So there's that. I don't think that the performance of this garment is going to match that of the previous generation Proton LT. A couple things I really do like about this garment are the interior lining fabric. It's a very, very smooth kind of nylon taffeta feel, and it works very well with whatever you have layered underneath. There's no grabbiness or restriction in it, and so the freedom of movement with this garment is phenomenal. It's really, really good. Feels like pajamas, just like I like with my mid layers. Yeah, I think, this almost feels kind of like an Atom SL, in terms of warmth. It just doesn't feel warm at all, or maybe an Atom LT, I don't know. But if you're looking for a mid layer to match your retired Proton LT, this is not it. I would look towards like a Black Diamond First Light hybrid stretch hoodie or something like that, or a Patagonia Nano Air. There's a lot of active mid layers, synthetic breathable mid layers on the market, right in line with this type of garment, for a lot less and a lot better performing, a lot warmer. The colorway is pretty sweet. I really like the Soul Sonic. It looks a little bit different than I expected it to in person. It feels a little bit more muted than I had originally expected. I was thinking maybe something a little bit more vibrant, kind of like the Gamify panel here. This is also Soul Sonic, and it pops just a little bit more than the Proton does here. Throwing the hood on again. The hood does have good full coverage. It's an Arcteryx hood, but I don't think that this is really going to be super helmet compatible. I mean, it will, but it doesn't quite feel like it used to on the Proton LT. The outer face fabric does kind of wrap around on the chin here, to the inside of the garment, and then the rest of the inside paneling is all that nylon taffeta fabric that's smooth and nice. On the inside, you do have your waist cinches here on the bottom hem. The Tiono fabric does wrap around to the inside inch of the bottom hem. One thing I noticed on my garment that came in the mail was the quality of the seams and the stitching on this jacket did not live up to typical Arcteryx quality. I have a really big thread pull here that just came stock from the factory, and it seems like the quality's kind of dropped quite a bit with this garment. The seams on the zipper here are really prominent. It just doesn't feel like an older Arcteryx garment. So, a little bit disappointed with this. I think I'll probably return it. It's comfortable, but it's not going to work for me the way that I want it to. It's not nearly warm enough for as an ice climbing mid layer, which is what I purchased it for. There is a hood adjustment on the back hood here. And that hood adjustment wraps right around underneath the ears, right to the mandible jawline here, and wraps right in there. That's all you get. It's kind of uncomfortable. Not a huge fan. So, yeah, that's about it. I do like the cuffs on it. They do have a really nice cuff system, really stretchy, seals out weather in the wrists, which is really nice. Give a little close up here. But yeah, I don't know. It's comfortable. It's not super warm. The inside pockets do have a nice brushed fleece lining to them, and then it's just that nylon taffeta on the inside of the pocket. So the back of the hands get the fleece, And then it's just one layer of nylon taffeta between your hand, in the pocket, and the inside of the garment. So overall, is it worth $350? I don't think so. I'd rather get a Black Diamond First Light stretch hoodie instead. In fact, I think that's what I'll go with. This looks good, but that's about it. It's comfortable, looks good. Not a great performer. In stark contrast to my opinions about the new Proton Hoodie, the new Proton SL, which is replacing the Proton FL or Proton Lightweight, is absolutely amazing. The new Proton SL is absolutely exactly what I was hoping for in a lightweight, breathable, hybrid fleece garment. It has that lightweight 40s-20 stretchy fabric on the outside. It's going to give nice wind resistance, but a ton of breathability. And the beautiful Octaloft fleece on the inside. And the revised fit is absolutely fantastic. The Proton Lightweight that I had before was too trim fit for me. If I went up to a large, it would have been too big and baggy. When I wore a medium, it was just too tight. It was that classic Proton fit. And the new Proton SL is slightly, and I mean very slightly more relaxed. This is still an athletically cut piece, at least for me in my build. I'm 5'7", about 180 pounds, 22 inches pit to pit, 40 inches around the chest. I have a 32-inch inseam, or a 30-inch inseam. I wear short pants. But the Proton SL absolutely is fantastic. The freedom of movement is great. It feels just about as warm as the Proton Hoodie that I just reviewed. And it's quite a bit lighter. I'm going to post the weight and stats down below here. I don't have it off the top of my head. But this is just what I want in a light insulating fleece active mid-layer. It's insanely comfortable. I love the Electra and Soul Sonic colorway. It's just awesome. Typically like reds for my upper body layers in the backcountry, but I think this is pretty visible as well. The hood is much closer fitting. I do have my hair up in the back here, so that's affecting it, but it's definitely an under the hood type of hood, or under the helmet type of hood. It is a lot closer fitting to the face, moves very, very well with my head, and that's great. That's great for climbing. I love that. The Proton Hoodie that I just reviewed has an over-the-helmet hood. This, I would say, is an under-the-helmet hood through and through. There's not a lot of material to it. The hood is still lined with that beautiful, amazingly supple and soft and comfortable Octaloft by Tenjin in Japan. And it's just a fantastic layer. You have additional hem cinches down here at the waist. It's only a one-way zipper. You have the classic Proton style chest pocket, which is the 40-50 stretch soft shell material. And I'm really, really excited about the cuffs. The cuffs are quite a bit different. They got a nice update from the second generation Proton FL. I believe they got an update from the Proton Lightweight as well, which is the Proton FL. Yeah, these things are, I'm keeping this. It's awesome. The Proton SL is so good. I kind of want to buy another one in Dynasty, just because I love the Dynasty color for backcountry use. It's just a great high-vis layer, and it looks really good. But this is the Electra. I was really curious about the colorway, and it definitely delivers in person here. I'm just going to go grab my Proton FL just to compare. So this is my original Proton FL. It has the original Octaloft mesh fabric, very similar to that used in the mountainhardwear air mesh. The fuzzy part of the fleecing faces away from you to the interior of the garment, so you have that kind of mesh material against the skin. And this was the original Proton FL hoodie. It's got two chest pockets. This is a true alpine layer. This thing is made for start and stop movement, awesome for ski touring, awesome for climbing. I think the fit on this was absolutely impeccably dialed. The hood on it did not have any insulation. It's just that Tyono or that 40s Air 20 fabric. Again, I'll put the info down below if I can. The hood was absolutely fantastic. The zipper was great. It's just a great piece. So that, in comparison to the new Proton FL, you basically layer the two over each other. These are both men's medium, but the new Proton FL just has that much more room to it. So theoretically, I could layer these if I wanted to for, like, I don't know, cold resort ski days under my shell or something. But I think that's just too much. But this is just to show you how much roomier of a cut the new Proton SL has. This is the second generation Proton FL in, I think, one of the best colorways they ever made, which is the conifer colorway. I also have the same thing in the vest version, which I think is very hard to find these days. Anyway, I wanted to show the difference in the cuffs between the Proton FL and the Proton SL. Again, this does have the original Tension, Octayarn, Octaloft fleecing in there, but I'm going to put these two side by side and show you the differences. So here we are. The original was just kind of a unrefined, wrapped around Lycra stretch fleece, and the new Proton SL has just such a nice, more refined, more articulated, more shaped cuff design, and it's so comfortable and so buttery and so stretchy. So yeah, I think the Proton SL is definitely a buy. At $280, it's not super cheap, but it's not ridiculously expensive like the $350 Proton Hoodie that's basically just as warm, but heavier. And yeah, and again, this garment, the Proton SL, is not made to be as warm as the new Proton Hoodie. But I think in practice it is, because I think that the Corloft Compact on the new Proton Hoodie is just not very warm. I don't feel any colder wearing the Proton SL in this weather than I did in the Proton Hoodie. So that's yeah, definitely buy this. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's sweet. The new Proton SL, I think, is one of the best garments they've put out in a while, and look at this colorway. It's awesome. On to the next. Alright, so I don't know how many reviews are on YouTube right now about the Proton Heavyweight, but here it is. This is the LT Tanager, I think, or maybe it's Heritage. I think it's Heritage, actually. For a lot of people online refer to the, or maybe just one Reddit poster talk about the new Proton Heavyweight as being very similar to the Leaf line in terms of quality and construction, and I would have to say that it is impeccably built. This is one of the arcteryx pieces that is still being produced to a very, very high standard. The outer fabric, I think it's 40s Air 20 on the arms and most of the body, and then 40s Air 50 on the chest panels. Yeah, you have two chest pockets here. Very, very sizable. However, there's no insulation on the outside, so don't even think about trying to keep stuff warm in those pockets, but it is great for holding whatever you need them to, as long as it's not batteries or gels. It has two interior dump pockets, and they are quite nicely built. They have kind of a reinforced mesh fabric in here to add some durability, and then on the inside you have that kind of nylon taffeta that I think was used on the interior of the Proton Hoodie. I believe you have that nylon taffeta on the inside throughout this garment as well. Now, this garment is nice and warm. It has very, very, very thick core loft insulation. I believe it's either 80 or 100 gram core loft. I'll confirm it down below. In the chest, and then it's a little bit lighter in the sleeves and the arms. I think it's 60 or 80, and then 60 in the hood. Now, you will see that I have this layered up with a couple other sweet pieces. I just want to show you how roomy the cut is on this Proton Heavyweight. It is a relaxed or regular fit. It's not an athletic or a trim fit. It is built to layer, and layer it does. This layer is right over the soft shell and the Proton SL that I'm wearing. And yeah, I just want to talk about the Proton a little bit more. The hood is quite substantial. It doesn't have really any stiffening in the brim or anything like that. It's just very much a wraparound hood. Very helmet compatible. It does fit over multiple other hoods. And yeah, right now, I mean, I do have a little bit of constriction in the chest, but that's because I'm layering this over a soft shell, which is over the Proton SL. Yeah, I think the quality of this garment's fantastic. The sleeve cuffs are very similar to that of the second generation Proton FL, as in they just wrap around. It's nothing mapped or articulated. Taking these hoods off, yeah, it just fits really, really well. It's got plenty of room in the shoulders and chest for me. The hand warmer pockets are really nice and roomy. You could definitely fit my hands in there with gloves. You have the insulation on the outside of the hand, and then on the back of the hand, outside of the hand, you have that nice Proton line, fleece lining in there, and then just that nylon taffeta right on the inside. So just putting this hood up again, I'll just do a spin around. There is a hood adjustment on the back here. It goes right around the top of the crown to secure it, and I think it does the job really, really well. Then it wraps right up around the top of the head. It's a great piece. Yeah, I think if you are in the market for a heavyweight mid-layer, this would be the one. This would be really, really fantastic for cold days at the resort, wearing as your ice climbing layer. I think for ice climbing, I prefer my Mammut Rime IN Flex hooded jacket. It just has a little bit more of a windproof, weather-resistant outer face fabric. Very, very similar in terms of insulative value. I think it's 80 gram synthetic insulation in there. And my Mammut Rime IN Flex hooded jacket has a double zip, which I really, really like. Does not have dump pockets like the Proton here, though. So this is a great piece. I really like it. For you ice climbers out there, storing your extra gloves in here is great. Sure, a lot of folks will go for the alpine pocket with your upper layers tucked underneath your harness. You can stuff just about anything in your jacket, but having that little bit of extra security for me with those dump pockets is really, really nice. If you're at the resort, keeping a soft flask with water in there is really nice. Not having to eat a rock solid freezing cold Cliff Bar is nice too, so keeping snacks and whatnot is really good. Yeah, I like this piece a lot. This is definitely a keeper in my wardrobe along with the Proton SL. I think the Proton Hoodie is going back to the shop because I don't love it. I think the lightweight Proton and then the Proton Heavyweight here are just perfect. So, let's talk about what's underneath this. If you haven't seen much about this on the internet, this is the Arcteryx Seratus softshell top and bottoms. Both in the Soul Sonic colorway. I went absolutely stupid about the Soul Sonic colorway this year from Arcteryx. They got me. I've been looking for some purples to add to the wardrobe, and they definitely did it this year with Soul Sonic. I think it's very similar to the Squid Ink of years past, and this Seratus softshell is awesome. I was a huge fan of the Arcteryx Siphon FL back when that was a thing, and I still have two of them. But this takes the cake. It has, very much like the old Siphon FL and SL. It has nice arcteryx Velcro cuffs, and it has multiple different fabrics. I think it's 40s 50 and 40s 20 soft shell fabric on the body here. The Soul Sonic colorway is a 40s 50, and then this is I believe Black Sapphire is the colorway right here. That is the 40s Air 20, and that is really for breathability where you need it and weather protection where you need it. Really nicely placed pockets here for your hands. It is an alpine garment, so it is made. The pockets are designed to fit with a harness on. This garment also has a two-way zip as well. It is a nice roomy cut. I generally have to go up to a large with a lot of garments, especially their technical fitting garments. But the Serratus hoodie is very roomy cut, and it's made to layer. So I have on underneath it the Proton SL hoodie, and it's great. This is an alpinist dream kit right here. Talking about it a little bit more, the hood on the Seratus is very big. I mean, this is made to no holds barred fit over a helmet, and do it real easily. It does have a stiffened brim here. The zipper functions very nicely. The logo is stitched on, and you can see the stitch logo backing there. Yeah, I think this, they say that this is their most technical climbing shell, soft shell. Sure, I guess so. The hem adjustments here, just like most Arcteryx garments with hem adjusters, are tucked up inside so those elastics don't hang out and get caught in a harness or no screw. Let's talk about the pants a little bit. The Serratus pants are like pajamas. They are extremely comfortable. They're nice. They have some nice, I'm not going to say baggy because they're definitely not baggy, but they do have some room up in the thighs, which I really need. For example, the Arcteryx Alpha SV bibs do not fit me. I am a hockey player by trade, and I got tree trunk thighs, and they just did not work. I can high step and high kick as high as I want with the Serratus pants here. It's kind of interesting where they place some of the more durable fabrics. I mean, in the front of the shin, you have that 40s 20, and then up in the thigh, you have the 40s 50 fabric. The interior of the cuffs do have a reinforced kick step right in here for crampon protection, and then you do also have some loops for attaching cordage to keep them tied down around your boots. One thing the Serratus pants lack is a zipper at the ankle, and I think that's weird for an alpine softshell pant. I would really expect there's a zipper to be there. So I'm actually not extremely fond of the Serratus pants, apart from them being extremely comfortable. So I can see myself using them maybe for ski touring. But even then, I had a really hard time getting them around my Scarpa F1 LT boots when I went to ice climb with them. Yes, I climb with my Scarpa F1 LT boots. There is a there is a thigh pocket here, nice and roomy. It's got a mesh lining to it, and then two zippered hand pockets. The zipper and the button and the fly, instead of it being a snap, it's a latch and pull system here. I think that's kind of cool. And then you do have a tension belt here, which I really haven't figured out how to use, but it's like a nylon webbing right here, and I really don't have to use it. These pants fit me quite perfectly, so I think that's all I got for the new Arcteryx stuff. Oh, wait a minute. I do have the new Nuclei Pant here. These are Arcteryx warmest puffy pants for belaying and whatnot. Camp pant, whatever. And I don't really love them. They're really loud and crinkly, just like the new Nuclei SV with the Hadron fabric. The new Hadron fabric is just so crinkly. You can probably hear that, but it's just so loud. And when it's really cold out, it sounds like a bag of Sun Chips. So I personally am not a huge fan of these. I think I'm going to use my mountain equipment compressor pants over these. Although I do really like the presence of a really big thigh pocket. But even then, there's no insulation on the outside of the thigh pocket on the Nuclei pants. So like, I don't really see what the point is. Full two-way, full-length side zips. That is absolutely critical for me with a belay pant. They are pretty comfortable. They do have really good freedom of movement, but yeah, the Nuclei pants ain't it for me. Reinforced Hadron material on the seat and lower legs, and then yeah, I don't know, nylon ripstop on the thighs and whatnot. But yeah, these are going back to Arcteryx as well, along with the Proton Hoodie. So that's my update for some of the Arcteryx stuff. I guess I'll talk about this hat real quick. This is the Gamma 5 panel. Really comfortable. I wish it came down like another 1/4 of an inch. But yeah, it's pretty good.